February 17th, 2017. Best friends Abigail Williams and Liberty German, also known as Abby and Libby, had a sleepover and later planned to go hiking near Monon High Bridge trail near Delphi, Indiana. It was their day off from school. They planned on exploring the area and clicking some photographs. They both loved photography, painting, and music. They were in the 8th grade together and were described as inseparable, as they were almost always together. Abigail Williams was 13 years old, and Liberty German was 14 at the time. The day of their hiking, at around 1 p.m., they were dropped off by Libby's elder sister, Kelsey. Looking at some images, it seemed like the girls were having a fun time hiking and clicking some pictures. Once they were done with the hike, at around 3:15 p.m., they were supposed to be picked up by Libby's father. Unfortunately, the girls didn't show up. At first, the families of both the girls tried to search for them on their own, with no success at all. They then contacted law enforcement at about 5 p.m. to report the girls missing. A search party was held, but yet no one was able to find the girls. Initially, authorities did not believe there was any foul play involved, but that quickly changed as the next day, on February 14th, 2017, the bodies of Abby and Libby were discovered in a wooded area near the Monon High Bridge, which spans across Deer Creek. Police officials had not released any details regarding how and in what state the girls had been found in. In fact, even years later, to this day, officials have not made the information public, but according to leaked messages from a search team member, Abby was stabbed multiple times and Libby's neck was cut real deep. Naturally, the community was shocked by the incident. Authorities had declared it a double homicide and even offered a reward for any information that would lead them to the killer. On the 15th of February 2017, Indiana State Police began circulating an image of a man with his hands in his pocket, head down, and walking towards the girls. He was quickly named the prime suspect in the murders and was referred to as the Bridge Guy. On the 22nd of February 2017, an audio recording of the same man was released. Although muffled, is heard saying something along the lines of, "Down the hill." One thing to be noted here, the video of the suspect was clicked by Libby herself. This was extremely brave of her to do so. On the 17th of July, the police distributed a sketch composite of someone who looked similar to the individual in the photograph and video. According to the police, the sketch indicated that the killer would have been around 40 to 50 years old. Though nothing much came out of it, everything else too just seemed to fizzle out. It wasn't until April 22nd, 2019, that the police would announce that they're taking the investigation into a new direction. A new sketch was also released. According to the new sketch, the killer seemed to be a young man with curly hair. Police officials also believed that the killer could be someone who lived nearby and was familiar with the area, and that he may have been hiding in plain sight, as according to them, whoever the suspect may be, was certainly familiar with the Delphi area. Now, the authorities did have a few suspects they believed at the time could be the man who they were looking for, but I'm not going to mention them. As it turned out, none of them could be connected to the murders. However, on the 26th of October 2022, a suspect was arrested and then taken into custody. Later appeared in court on the 28th, 50 years old, Richard Allen. He was charged with 2 counts of murder in the case. But who is Richard Allen? According to authorities, Richard was on their radar since 2017 from Whiteman Drive, a residential neighborhood in Delphi, Indiana. Married to Cassie Allen, they've been in the neighborhood since 2006. Prior to his arrest, Richard had no criminal history other than 2 speeding tickets. He worked as a licensed pharmacy technician and even worked at the Delphi CVS, where he actually interacted with Libby's mom after the incident. In fact, this image clicked at a local bar where you can see a sketch of the killer behind him. Technically his own sketch behind him. If he actually did commit these murders, clearly tells us what a sick, cold-blooded person he truly is. He was also brought in for questioning back in 2017, where he did admit to being at the park the day the girls were murdered, although denied being anywhere near the area where the bodies of Abby and Libby were discovered. During the initial police search, when the girls were discovered, they also found a single .40 caliber bullet. Now, according to the police, this bullet alone and a few eyewitnesses who described a man that fit the description of Richard was what led the police to arrest Richard Allen. His wife Kathy allegedly told the police about a gun that Richard owned since 2001, which contained the same size of bullets found near the bodies of the girls. To this day, Richard has denied any involvement in the murders of Abigail Williams and Liberty German. In fact, since his arrest, he has asked the court for a public defender, as due to his financial standing, he cannot afford one. Now only time will tell whether he actually is the bridge guy, as until the trial ends, he still is innocent until proven guilty. Though personally, in my opinion, physically, he does match the guy in the video recorded by Libby. With that being said, let us all hope for the best and that justice is served. Well, folks, that was the end of the case file. Hope you did find the video interesting. If you've made it this far, I would genuinely appreciate it if you would give this video a like, and if you haven't yet, subscribe to the channel, as it would really help me. Also, let me know your thoughts about this case. Do you believe that Richard is the bridge guy, or that the authorities have the wrong person yet again? Until next time, take care of yourselves and your loved ones, and please be safe. Peace.